So, how to get new buyer and seller clients as a real estate agent with Instagram stories? Well, the answer lies within a three-pillar framework we're going to go over in today's video. And these pillars are parasocial relationship building, memory anchors, and call to action structures. And when you use all of these three, you're going to have a perfect storm that gets you new clients. Now, most real estate agents are at least somewhat familiar with Instagram stories, and they're usually sharing generic stuff that they get from the brokerage on their stories or pictures that are made with Canva or occasional picture from home or open house promotion. Yet most real estate agents don't get any new clients from their Instagram stories. So it's a social media content format that's widely misused by realtors. And the reason why I think that is the case is because there's just so much plain wrong information out there about how to market as a real estate agent, things that have no basis on actual human psychology of what people actually respond to. But if you know how to use Instagram stories the right way, it can easily add you an extra 5, 10, or 20 deals a year on your bottom line. So let's dive right in. Instagram stories for real estate agents. Now, what are Instagram stories in case you're not familiar with this? These are short images, video, and content pieces that are visible on Instagram for 24 hours. So if you go to the top of your Instagram feed, right, you will see those little bowls there, right? And then what you want to do with these stories is to get visible over there. And these stories are only visible for 24 hours. So they're a little bit more experimental, a little bit more free flowing as far as like the regular feeds and regular posts. Now, why do we use Instagram stories? Well, stories are the best content placement for you to stay top of mind with people on a daily basis, right? Because if we post a lot of reels, we post a lot of feeds, we can't really that often post quality reel every single day unless you're really good at social media, right? So these stories, they allow you to stay top of mind. People see you on a daily basis and they kind of remember you. They build that trust with you because you are being visible over and over again, right? And you also start those new conversations because you can start different topics, start different things without needing to necessarily make this large post about it. And then as a result of that, we're going to generate listing appointments, right? So one thing to keep in mind is you want to use cross-pollinating stories. So even though we talk about Instagram stories, make sure you go ahead and turn on your Facebook personal profile sharing on as well. So whenever you post on Instagram, you can also get your story shown on your Facebook personal profile. And as a result of that, right, you'll have both of these platforms active and generating new views and obviously that top of mind effect. So go to Instagram account setter, press share to Facebook personal profile, and then press share your story to Facebook on. And it is simple as that. Now, the goal here is obviously to build parasocial relationships. And what these are essentially are relationships with people that are following you on Instagram, with people that are your friends on Facebook, right? And we want to build these parasocial relationships. And by that, I mean that these people that are on that friend list, instead of you being just one of the friends that they have or one of the followers that accounts that they follow, right? You are somebody that they actually remember, resonate with, and ultimately, right, they almost see you as a person in their lives. That's what parasocial relationship really means. What that means on a practical basis, right, since typically feeds on Instagram or reels or these big posts, right, they're more like planned. With the story format, we can be more kind of like behind the scenes. So that's something where we can kind of give more of that personality, personal life trope, right? And so what you want to do here is really show behind the scenes of that personal life, behind the scenes of that work life throughout your day with these selfie videos or images you just capture in the moment. They don't need to be too planned, and you can give value, you can tell stories, you can kind of show behind the scenes of your work life and the regular life that you're living. So be mindful of the brand vision. So obviously you want to think of, hey, like what are some of the things I want to associate myself, my brand to, and then show things that are part of that brand vision you have mapped out ideally already, or if you have something in your mind, you kind of build on top of that. Now, the goal here is not to try to impress. We're not trying to be that number one top producing real estate agent or anything like that. They're just trying to be top of mind, familiar, relatable, right? This kind of breeds that trust, and that trust will then lead into clients. Now, even if you're very successful, right, remember, it's not about that at all. It is all about relatability, familiarity. That's why this content type works so well. Now, a couple examples of some of these posts, right? Maybe you're grabbing a coffee before you're showing. Maybe you have a new review on your Google profile or Zillow, right? You can take a screenshot of it, crop it, put it to stories with a text element. Something like proud realtor moment or working with this couple was an absolute pleasure. Now, you could also say something like walking a neighborhood and sharing thoughts. Maybe you're walking somewhere. Maybe you're dealing with an inspection hiccup. Maybe you're heading to a listing appointment, relaxing with your dog, right? You can take a picture of that, put it there. You can have a story about what happened with your family today, right? Maybe your kid learned something or they achieved something, or you could state your opinion about something, right? It is a very, very much more relaxed environment in that sense because these stories are only going to be there for 24 hours. After that, they're gone. Now, post stories only built within Instagram stories features, so do not post other content on your stories. Because if you post like just sold just listed type of things, or you just kind of post some random content out there, that breaks that illusion of that intimacy, illusion of that, hey, this is a real person showing behind the scenes, right? So recommended frequency of these stories, they can be actually quite a lot. You can post up to 1 to 3 stories daily, and there's actually no real cap. You can post even more if you want to, but 1 to 3 stories is kind of like the daily minimal dose just to stay top of mind with that friend and follower list. Now, select your memory anchors, right? So memory anchor is a recurring phrase or object or kind of like a visual cue that becomes tightly associated with you. And that helps people to remember you and recognize your content quickly and then feel a sense of consistency. So there is a one restaurant bias. So when multiple stimuli are presented, the item that differs from the rest is more likely to be remembered. Now, what that means in practice, right? Let's say you look at Oprah, right? One of the things she was saying always is like, hey, you get a new car, you get a new car, you get a new car, right? So there's the emotional kind of like association to Oprah and her one phrase, and then everybody remembered Oprah, right? Because of that. Or Taylor Swift, right? Hey, it's me, I'm the problem. Or Elon Musk, right? It's the meme tweeting, posting memes all the time, or let that sink in, kind of like the t-shirt uniform he has, very easily rememberable. If you know Alex Hormozy, he's always saying, hey, never skip dessert. Or Kim Kardashian, right? She has like literally, right? So a lot of these things, they can be both visual, maybe you're dressing in a certain way, they can be verbal, it can be really anything that just makes people remember you really, really easily. Or Barack Obama, right? You can say, hey, yes, we can. Or Trump, right? You could say, you're fired. There's that MAGA hat. Or Steve Jobs, right? That black turtleneck. All these things are memory anchors that then allow people to remember you and associate these things to you. So you can choose a category or anchor and pick one, and it can be one of two following types to start with. It can be a phrase. So you can say, again, something like never skip dessert, right? You can have a phrase like that. Maybe you created something with your business or with your personal life, or it can also be visual, right? Maybe for me personally, I tend to use this blue suit, right? So that's can also be visual, something that allows people just easily remember you. It can also be behavior, right? Maybe you're always taking off glasses before speaking a story, so you're always doing like this, right? All these things, like you can just kind of get creative with it and find one that works for you specifically. And then when you start doing that visual or audio or verbal anchor, right, you just start incorporating that memory anchor on a consistent basis to your stories. So simply whenever you're creating a story, right, every once in a while, start to kind of drip in this anchor in, and that allows people then to easily remember you from your stories. Now, as you're starting to post these stories, right, obviously at some point you're then going to want to start to engage with people more. You're going to want to start to have conversations. Maybe you want to start to have people reach out to you, right? You want to start to have that conversation about real estate. So the beauty of these Instagram stories is you can actually start making these Instagram polls, and then these polls, they allow you to start conversations about different topics. So even right now, if you already have a lot of followers on Instagram, right, if you haven't done this before, polls are an extremely good way to start converting that Instagram audience towards more working with you or referring business to you. Okay, let's go over example number one, poll one, list of homes. So step-by-step process for this is you first open your Instagram stories. To do this, just swipe left on your Instagram feed. And then over here, next step is to take a picture of home interior. You can either, if you have something ready to go, you can take a picture of that. Or if you're already in a house or showing a house, you can just take something like this. Now over here, you want to add a poll element with no title and add the poll option. So to add the poll element, you just click on this little sticker right here, press poll, and then here, add these following options. So type me, second one, type me, and third one, add not me. I don't want to buy a house. So we add that here. And again, remember no title. So we just add like this. And then here we go ahead to the next sticker. And now we want to add the text elements. So press text. And then we say who wants a list of all available new construction homes in, and again, you want to add your area, right? So if you're in Austin, just type Austin. And we're ready to go. And you will just add it above this text element right over here. Now, that's all for that. And then you can replace new construction home, right, with any type of home, right? So whatever market you're in, you can adjust it to that. And then step number 4, we post the stories. So you just press on this little arrow right here, and then again, post it on your story. Step number 5, you wait for the answers to come in, and in roughly 30 minutes to an hour, you will start to have people polling on that me or yes answer, right? So now step number 6 is as you start to get those positive responses, you will want to send a voice message in Instagram direct messages or Facebook private messages to the people that replied quote unquote yes to that story, right? That typed me or yes, whatever the case may be. So the voice message itself is fairly straightforward. You just say something like, hey, what's up name? Hey, what's up, John? I saw you voted in my stories that you like to get a list of new construction homes in Austin. I wanted to ask if you have an idea of your price range so I can send over the most relevant ones. Now over here, they'll reply XYZ, right? And then you say, okay, makes sense. Here's your price adjusted list. Now, once you send this list, you will say, hey, do you have 5 to 10 minutes later today to chat? I'll be happy to set you up on a new complimentary AI listing alert system that pings you before anyone else when a new home that perfectly matches your criteria hits the market, if you'd be open to that. And then from there, if they don't respond to your messages within 24 hours at any stage, you just follow up with these 4 messages. So follow-up message number 1, just bombing this to the top of your inbox. Number 2, following up on this, question mark, and hey, just want to make sure you didn't lose this in the shuffle. And then as you do this, you're going to start to have different kind of situations pop up, right? You start to have regular conversations. Treat this basically as similar to as any buyer lead. So some people are going to be looking to sell right away. Some people are going to have like a medium time range. And then some people are just looking around. And that is okay, right? Because we're looking for volume. We're looking for having a lot of people respond, right? And then out of that audience, out of that lead list, right, we're going to start to have those conversions coming in. So as you can see, the flow here, right, is with your stories, the goal is only to generate a conversation. From the conversation, the goal is to have a phone conversation. And then from that phone conversation, then if the person is qualified, our goal is obviously simply to set an appointment live with that person or over on Zoom in order to then get that agreement. If it's a listing appointment, right, we're going to have a listing agreement after that, right? Or if it's a buyer consultation, then from there, obviously we will sign the buyer agreement. So simple as that. Now there's a lot of these polls over here. You can see we have the hot CMA poll. You can see we have the living your dream home and so on and so forth, right? So this strategy has basically infinite possibilities. But if you would like this document where we have all of these polls listed out with the exact text, exact picture instructions, exact polls you need to use, just comment Instagram stories under this video and our team will send you this whole document for free. So just comment Instagram stories under this video. We will send that over to you for free so you can start implementing this right away.